Wind and rain has caused flash flooding and travel chaos across parts of England and Wales. The main rail line to the southwest has been washed away in several places following torrential downpours. A ferry carrying nearly 150 people was stranded at sea for 26 hours before docking at Fishguard, Pembrokeshire at 11 o'clock GMT. Elsewhere roads remain closed and trains cancelled. Floods sirens sounded in Yorkshire. Weather warnings are no longer in place, although some flood warnings remain. Squally weather is due to persist throughout Tuesday, with gusts of about 50 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour, expected to continue over higher ground and coastal areas in the southeast. The Environment Agency has 17 flood warnings in place, meaning flooding is expected and immediate action is required. In England and Wales, with 103 flood alerts, meaning flooding is possible. Met Office forecaster Greg Dewhurst said, "Throughout today the wet and windy weather within that low-pressure area will slowly move into the North Sea. Behind this most places will still see showers, some heavy but getting lighter during the day." A yellow warning of rain in force over a broad area of the northeast was lifted at 6 o'clock GMT, along with a yellow warning of wind covering much of Cumbria. In Stalybridge, Greater Manchester, a family was rescued by boat when their 250-year-old cottage flooded. Andy Vaughan and his wife Shelley said they couldn't keep the water out. Mrs. Vaughan said, "Andy stood behind the door to try and to hold the door, but the force of the water, it was like the door exploded in." Engineers in parts of Tameside have restored power to 16,000 properties but 500 remain without power. The Welly Hole Bridge in Greenfield, Oldham, has been shut amid concerns it was in danger of collapse. Trains between Shrewsbury and Hereford were cancelled after part of a railway line became flooded. Heavy rain caused flooding between Shrewsbury and Craven Arms, meaning all lines between the two stations were blocked. In Yorkshire, people living in the Calder Valley, including the town of Hebden Bridge, which was devastated by flooding last Christmas, have been warned to expect the rivers to flood. 2 people have been rescued in Slights near Whitby, where heavy rain caused large amounts of gravel to be swept from the A169 down into the village. North Yorkshire County Council said the road is closed. In Devon, the train line between Tiverton Parkway and Exeter St David's was severely damaged by floodwater and the Tarka line was closed. Network Rail said there will be no trains in and out of Exeter St David's for 48 hours after part of the track at Cowley Bridge washed away. Rail passengers have been advised not to travel into and out of Devon and Cornwall unless necessary. Businesswoman Jane Clements could not travel by train from Exeter to Bristol for a series of meetings. She said, "They need to invest more into the trains and the transport system because that's the way forward." The Environment Agency said it was preparing to put up temporary defences where necessary and that rivers had been cleared to make sure water could flow freely. Motorists are being warned not to drive through floodwater, and residents in at-risk areas have been advised to contact their local councils for sandbags to protect their homes.